What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Heavyweight Nation podcast. And today, as you can see, you got Matthew to left me, a very special guest. As you know, anybody who's been listening for a while now knows we got a great relationship with the guys down in Missouri. We got 2023 All-American. Got Zach Elam on the podcast. Zach, welcome to the podcast again. Your second time back on the show. Welcome.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Yeah, first time was probably about 3 or 4 years ago, but it's good to be back.
Yeah, man. About 3 years ago, I think we had you and I think you, Dom, and Rocky were all on at the same time. Like a big group we had. It was like a quarter of the Mizzou team was on the podcast with us, man. It
Yeah,
was awesome.
that's
It
a
was a
good
good
group of
time.
guys.
Good time,
Yeah.
man. It's awesome. Awesome to bring you back. And this time we could say All American in front of your name. So how's that been hearing that? I'm sure you've heard that a lot the last couple weeks.
Yeah, it's I mean, honestly, it's just to me, like personally for me, it's just long overdue. I feel like I've just chipped away at like a round of 12. Yeah, I've lost in the round of 12 twice, and then I was winning in the round of 16 and got thrown on my back once. And so like I've just been right there year in and year out. And it's finally good to get out of, you know, losing in the round of 16 on the front side. I finally won this year. I beat the kid from NC State. So I made it to the quarters. And then finally getting out of that round of 12 on the backside. So those two matches I was, you know, if they were to come, those were the ones I was looking forward to, and trying to just break through that wall that has kind of constantly been in front of me.
Yeah, man, and it's not like you were losing to any terrible talent.
No.
You were losing to guys that were of the best quality from a couple different divisions, man, and it was awesome, man. Awesome to see this year, and also I'm sure it was awesome for you to have Rocky there with you. I mean, Rocky got himself up there as well, and I think I saw an interview he did where he got a little bit emotional about how this year was different for you guys, having both of you be able to get on the podium.
Yeah, yeah, it's special. It's really awesome to be on um the team with your brother, and that was kind of one of the biggest things for me is not only I really wasn't trying to AA for myself. It was, or trying to reach the be in the finals and win a national title for myself. I just want to do it with my brother and say I did it with my brother. And I was the biggest thing over the past couple of years was more of the feeling of just I wasn't holding my end of the bargain, because to me, it's I look at it as we're doing this together. And it just really kind of hurt year in and year out, falling short and not kind of carrying my weight per se. So it was finally good to be able to do that with him. And I knew he was going to get the job done. And I still think he's the best 197 pounder in the country. And some things happen, but he's tough as nails, and he's a freaking stud. So
yeah, well, shout out to him, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Rocky, man. We'll have to get Rocky on here. Our next scheduling session, we'll have to get Rocky Elam on here, and we got to get Dom back too. Dom might still be our number one fan. I think Dom Bradley was Dom Bradley was like one of our first like big name guys that we were able to get in contact with, and obviously we saw him at nationals. We saw how excited he was for you being able to capture that All-American status, and kind of seeing him get jump up and down with the coaching staff there. Talk a little bit about what it's been like having a guy of the caliber like Dom Bradley in your corner, and just I'm sure practicing with you as well.
Yeah, it's awesome. Because for me, like I grew up watching Dom when I was about, and he's gonna hate me for dating him back, but when I was about 13, 12 years old, even before that, when he was in high school at Blue Springs. And it's just kind of a good full circle thing. He was all three heavyweights for Mizzou that have All American are all from Kansas City. So it's just kind of like we grew up in kind of the same city. We're about 30 minutes from each other back in Kansas City from where we grew up, and it's just we relate to so much, and we train really hard, and we just battle all the time, and it's awesome. And he's such a high level guy where he's always making U.S. national teams, and he's been on there was a thing that came out where this is like his 16th U.S. Open or something like that. It's just he's got a career that it's hard to match.
Especially as an upper weight. Especially as an upper weight, you got to think.
It's so rare to match that longevity and have success during that longevity. So it's just like it's awesome to be able to work with him every day, and like I said, it's more just the battles. It's so fun to get in the room and beat up on each other. That's kind of the main thing. But yeah, it was he got pretty emotional after I won in the round 12, and it didn't really hit me yet when I won that blood round match, that All-American round match, because there was still matches in front of me. Like I had to get ready, for another match in about 30 minutes. But seeing how much he was that like it affected him and how much he cared was super awesome, because he's just it was good to bring him back to Mizzou and have him in my corner, and it's just been awesome ever since.
Yeah, definitely. Man. I'm sure having someone like that to elevate you in the room and just elevate you outside the room too, like be in your corner and just push you, drive you, and kind of see what you can't see, almost like see your potential, see what you can live up to. And I'm sure that's why he got emotional, because it's been a long time coming for you to get that.
Yeah, it was. I think so, and he's known me for a long time. His even when I was a kid, his high school coach is my godfather. So we've known each other for a long time. So and even when he wasn't at Mizzou, like in the wintertime, we'd be training together. So it was a really sweet moment.
Yeah, I mean, just an incredible moment, and I think like you mentioned earlier, a lot of people don't get the opportunity to do it with their brother. Yeah. We saw at the D3 level this year, two brothers face off in the national finals. Now that would be a crazy outcome for something like you and Rocky. I'm sure that would be an interesting way to see, because the public sees your relationship with Rocky is very funny. You guys do some very comical team pictures.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about where you kind of got that idea. We've seen some cool, funky glasses. We've seen some funny poses. What was it like kind of for you guys to have a little bit of fun doing that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Well, we're big into, like, growing up, we watched Dragon Ball Z. And, now there's like, or back then it was GT, and now there's Super. So, I mean, we always kind of like use like those anime photos of like Trunks and little Gohan, or Goten, and doing all that stuff. And with the glasses, those are my actual glasses. I'm blind as a bat, so they're thick and they make my eyeballs thick. I always joke around. I said, if any normal person would put these on, they'd see 2 weeks in the future. I mean, they're thick, and yeah, we just like to have a good time, and we're always together. We live together, and we don't really care like what people think of us, and
it's funny. I think it's great. I think it's hilarious.
It's great.
I really do.
Yeah, we just be ourselves, and that's the best thing about it. So
yeah, that's what we just. And I'm sure living with your brother and training with your brother is something different. Yeah, you guys push each other, you guys elevate each other all the time. Like, it's a constant battle.
Yeah, it's fun. It's we work with each other, as much as we can. Sometimes I'll try to grab him, but he doesn't want to go with me because I'm a little bit bigger than him now. And he's got a pretty nice little weight cut nowadays where when he gets too close to competition, we don't need to be going together. But whenever we do train together, it's focused and really technique oriented, and it's a good time, and it's really fun to work on your craft, with blood, so.
Yeah, and this year's Mizzou team, what a team you guys put together this year. I mean, just a really talented lineup. From start to finish. Talk a little bit about this year's Mizzou team and kind of the future of Mizzou.
Yeah, we had 5 All-Americans. I know we tied the number of All-Americans we've had in a year. I wish we would have got, all 10. But especially the 6th one, Alan Hart, where he got taken down with, 1 second left in the round of 12. That one just, felt like a knife to the heart. But yeah, we going in that tournament, I would have not been surprised if all 10 guys all American. I mean, but that's obviously all the goal. But yeah, it was a great year. We had some duels that didn't kind of go our way, where it was just one match from winning, or we kind of really our big matches like Ogie State, Virginia Tech, and Arizona State. We didn't come out with wins. We beat Iowa State and UNI and all the other ones, but it's just like those ones that everybody's watching. Those top 5 matchups one that they kind of slipped past us this year, and I'd say those kind of stung a lot. But in a sense of the tournament was, gosh dang it, sorry. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's really annoying. In a sense of the tournament wise, I think everyone performed really well. One thing I wish we would have done, we didn't really get too many bonus points. I think we had 1 pin, and I think we're kind of known for being tough on top and getting a lot of bonus points. So maybe if everyone would have got a pin, I think we'd have brought home a team trophy. So that's something that's always in the back of our minds. But yeah, we were just outside that, top 4 finish, and it stung, but it was a good tournament.
And who are you guys losing this year?
We have all 5 All-Americans returning. And the only one in our starting lineup that's graduating is Alan Hart. And he lost in the round 12. So we'll have Noah Certain coming back. We'll have Brock Muller coming back. We'll have Connor Brown's also graduating. So our 33 and our 41 are graduating. And then and Jared J. Hughes, he's graduating. Now that I'm thinking about this. Okay, those 3. So we have 8 guys coming back. 8 guys. So or 7.
Definitely gonna be dangerous to see though.
Yeah, 7. I can't do math. So we have 7 guys coming back. Our 33, 41, and our 57 are graduating.
So a dangerous big 7 returning for you guys next season.
Evolving All-Americans.
Yeah. So we got all 5 All-Americans coming back. We had Noah Certain, who I think went 1 and 2 this past year, but he was a round of 12 guy the year before. And then
shout out Noah Certain. Noah Certain's also a Heavyweight Nation podcast guest.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to listen to that one. I'm sure that he got really crazy. Was he talking crazy?
He got into it. Yeah. He was interested. We're gonna have Peyton. We're gonna have Peyton Mako on too. So
really?
Next week Peyton's coming on. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I wasn't there for that one.
I'm gonna listen to old Mako. That one would be interesting. I'd like to hear. But he's not a very talkative guy, so you might have to.
He seemed very excited to come on. So I'm hoping we'll get him out of his shell a little bit and get him going.
Okay. Give him some fun questions,
Yeah, question for him. Ask him who the best boomerang food player is on the team, and then say why is it Zach Elam?
Let's remember, we'll probably forget that, but we will post like we did for you. We'll post the picture, and listen, you gotta tell all the boys, because we love it when all of the teammates just start asking these outlandish questions. Yeah. Especially for someone like him who's a little more in the shell. You make sure like a bunch of you guys on the team leave some comments for him.
Oh, I'm gonna leave some comments. I'm gonna be like, why is it Zach Elam? Because he's gonna get riled up, and he's kind of easy to get under his skin a little bit, just because he's Mako. But he's it's gonna be a good episode.
Yeah, man, it sounds good. We might have to get Noah Certain back on too to see what he has to say about what you said about him. We might have to get him back on, see if
He just got I think he just finished his arm sleeve, so he's even more
oh, here we go. He's
wild
getting
and rowdy now. So you might get him as
Oof.
no, not the fresh arm sleeve. Uh-oh.
Man's dangerous.
It is
Yeah.
dangerous, man. But just an awesome season. I mean, it was great. You're like I said, you're a friend of the show. So as many people, as many guys who have, given us their time, we love to see them succeed. And I think this year was the most All-Americans,
Yeah,
All-Americans and national champs. Hello? Hello? Are you good? Hello? Hello?
Now I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Yes,
there you go.
yes. So this past year was the most All-Americans, and we had one national champ of podcast guests. So this was a great year for Heavyweight Nation
Awesome.
in our lineups here.
There you go.
We did good. We did good this year.
Yeah.
We want to do better next year. We need to keep
Yeah, I
bringing in
think-
the young talent.
Yeah, I remember you were talking about from the first time I've been on. I remember following you guys like when you guys had like 1,000 followers or a few hundred followers, and now you guys are through the roof and you're like your own media outlet. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to Heavyweight Nation. You guys are doing well for yourselves.
Thank you. We appreciate it, man. We appreciate when the guys that are competing, appreciate what we do. We know Don Bradley's a big Heavyweight Nation fan. We know he was telling us, a lot that he would like send videos in the group chat or tell you guys about stuff at practice. He'd say stuff.
Yeah.
Don Bradley's
I'll tell you what, we had one of our heavyweights, Jacob Bulkin. He actually bought some stickers for all the heavyweights on Mizzou. The Heavyweight Nation stickers. So I got a Heavyweight Nation sticker hanging up I think on my fridge. So
shout out Chain Wrestling. Shout out to
There you
him too. Shout out to your heavyweight, man. You guys got some talented heavyweights, I know, in that room with you. Can I talk a little bit about some of the guys that are wrestling with you at practice and getting you ready for nationals?
Yeah, I'll go through some of our guys. Obviously we have Doms. That's who I'm working with a lot during the season. And then we have Seth Mitzel. He came in kind of as a lighter guy, like a 174-pounder or something like that. But he's done well. He's grown a lot as a wrestler, and now he's a heavyweight, weighing like 215 or something. But he gets in there. He's scrappy, and he comes to a lot of tournaments and stuff. I think he wrestled in like Lindenwood Open. I think he won that, and then he wrestled in the SIUE one, I think, and maybe UNI. And then he came with us to Chattanooga, the Scuffle, and he ended up getting hurt there. But he was wrestling good. He beat some good guys this season. And then we have Steve Kolchev. He's from Michigan. I think he's been in a room for about 3 years now. He's a bigger guy, but he's really athletic, and he's good to scrap with. We go with each other a lot on match days, and gives you a good feel, just because he's a big guy, and he moves real well for being a big guy. So he's tough in that sense. And then we have Ryan Boersma, who's a freshman this year. He's a kind of a high-level recruit coming out of Chicago. Just a big old boy, like 6'6", 6'7", like 290 or whatever when he came in. And
it's a big boy. Holy hell.
Yeah, he's a farm animal. He's a big dude. He's a good kid. He's super smart. I love Boersma. I love drilling with him. He's probably my second go-to drill partner wise. He always likes to learn and try to get better. And he's a really good drill partner. And he's got a lot of stuff to work on this year and going into next year, but he's going to be tough once he figures out fully how to use his weight and all that. So and his size, but he's tough. He's pretty good on the freestyle and Greco scene. I know I think he's competing at the Open at the end of April here.
What, U20?
Yeah, he's a U20. He's young. I think he's got a U20 this year and a U20 next year too.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah,
He's yeah,
Young big boy.
a young big boy. He
yeah.
sounds like an Adam Kuhn in the making if
He
everything
really
goes right there for him.
he needs to kind of utilize or watch little Adam Coon, but he's
Yeah.
when he utilizes his size, he's going to be tough. And then we have Cole Gripka, transfer from North Dakota State, but he's from Missouri. He's from Maysville, Missouri. He grew up in our going to our club practices back in high school with Rocky and I. Uh, he's a tough kid. He's more on the funky side of wrestling, but he gives you a good feel. And I think that's just the best thing about our room is like I can go through everybody and find different styles within everybody, you know. So I think that's one of the biggest things that I love is just the variety of, you know, everyone I'm wrestling. And you know, that's just within the heavyweight guys. And, you know, if I wanted to wrestle my brother, you know, then I'm wrestling someone that's tough, that's, you know, 197 pounder. So
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gotta be nice, especially like when different. I'm sure different weeks you're wrestling kind of different styles of guys, and it must be nice to just kind of watch a little bit of film and then be like, okay, this guy in the room wrestles a little bit more funky. This guy wrestles a little more slow, a little bit more bigger guy. I'm sure it's nice to be able to kind of grab people depending on what the outlook is for the week.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like they're all not only are they all different in their technique and how they wrestle, but they're all different like size and body wise. Like they all weigh different. Like, you know, you could take Nitzel, the smallest one of these, like 215, 220. And then you go to Gripka or Cole, he's like, I don't know, 240, 230, 240. And then there's me like at 240, 245. And Kolchev, I think he's about 260, 265. And then there's Borisma, who's about, you know, 270 to 80. So it's just everybody's different size wise too, you know, whether they're tall or, you know, short, but everybody weight wise, everybody's a little bit different.
So what you're saying is that you feel comfortable when it's your time to leave Mizzou that someone will be there to fill your spot very well.
Yeah, I think so. You know, I got a year left, so
Yeah.
I've been here
One
for
more run at it, man.
yeah, one more run, one more trip around the sun. I've been here for a long time, and but yeah, we're gonna have some good guys when I leave, and hopefully they'll be ready and prepared when their time comes. And you know, I know there's some high level heavyweights in Missouri right now that hopefully, you know, will kind of filter in to Mizzou when they get to, you know, the point of being recruited in their junior and senior year. So
Awesome, man. Awesome. And we have some questions prepared for you here. I'll kind of throw it over to Matthew to ask you a few, and then we'll go from there.
sweet.
Yeah, we talk a lot of wrestling, but besides wrestling, if you're not wrestling, you have a day off. Like, what do you like to do? What's
Well, I got a dog, so I'm usually hanging out with her, and it's mainly like, hey, what are we doing for Kai today? You know, so I'm probably gonna take her, play fetch. And if I really have enough time where like I know I won't have something the following morning, I might even go up to my grandma. She lives an hour north, and I'll do stuff with my dog and just hang out with my grandma. Um, but other than that, you know, just kind of hanging out with Rock, doing chores, just little things. I mean, there's always something to do. So I used to play video games a bunch, but now I don't really do that anymore. Every once in a while I play it, but I used to play it pretty religiously. But other than that, there's just always something to do, just kind of hanging out. Mainly, we I got some guys that come over. They're actually upstairs right now on our team, and we just play cards. So it's always fun to play cards and kind of hang out and shoot the shit. So
Yeah, man. Shout out to those guys, and shout out to your grandma. I'm sure
Shout out to
she
grandma.
enjoys. Shout out to grandma. I'm sure she enjoys when you come up and visit her.
of course, all the time.
Definitely.
Definitely.
What was the go-to game when you were a gamer?
Gamer, Prime Fortnite, when it was like 2018 through 2020. And then dig into Madden. That's when a lot of controllers get broken, is when I'm playing. So I tried to stop playing Madden. And then 2K, I was playing the show for a while. Mainly just sports games and like Fortnite, but like growing up as a kid, I was playing Call of Duty, and Modern Warfare, all that stuff. So I mean, and it's usually been competing with Rocky in video games and FIFA too. So it's a lot of just sport games, and then obviously like all the gun games.
I feel like we've been hearing a lot of 2K.
From only the heavyweights. I don't know if is it that you guys are just can't play basketball, so you play it on a video game? Is it like
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, for me, like 2K is probably the least. Madden would be first, and then I'd say FIFA second, and then the show, and then 2K. But I ain't shabby at 2K, even though it's my last one. I ain't too shabby.
all right, man? We're heavyweight nation. We're all some large gentlemen. Well, except for Matthew, he's an average size gentleman. But the rest of us here,
come on.
One day you'll get there.
Yeah, one day.
I'm not that small.
When your metabolism slows down, you'll meet us at the heavyweight nation. All right. So what's the go-to? What's the go-to cheat meal? You're not making. You don't have to cut. I mean, obviously, you're not a guy that cuts weight. So like, you could really pretty much. I mean, walking around at 240, you could pretty much eat whatever you really wanted. I'm sure you don't because you probably would feel pretty gross wrestling like that. But like, what's like you're not really caring what you eat? What's the go-to?
Oh man. I don't know. I eat a pretty clean diet, just because of how much we're training and competing. I think the biggest thing that I'd say, like, I could eat probably about four of these, like 4 different pizzas would be from Mod Pizza. I could just eat Mod Pizza all day. And then,
hold on, 4 pizzas? You think you could eat 4? Oh man.
No, I probably couldn't, but like, there's points to where I'm like, I'm so hungry. I just want a
lot of pizza.
Yeah, I just want pizza. But
what's the most pizza you've eaten? I know you've probably killed the whole pizza before.
I've down near 2 boxes. I think it was like 1.5. Or a Little Caesars. I downed a Little Caesars pretty quickly. I think pizza, I don't know if pizza is considered a cheat meal, but I think pizza.
I'd say.
I just love pizza.
I feel like the only fast food we're not counting as a cheat meal is Chipotle. Chipotle does not count as a cheat meal.
Yeah, I wouldn't count it as cheap. I don't really like Chipotle. Just
hot take. Hot take.
That's a hot take, man.
Hot take.
Well, we're gonna that's gonna get clipped. Your fans are gonna let you know about that one.
Here's the deal. I have to explain myself. So when we travel, we always get Chipotle. We get Chipotle. So, and I'll eat it. Like, I like it in a sense where I'll eat it. But like, when you're traveling so much, the travel places you go out to eat, they don't, like, when you're at home, you just don't want to go there. Does that make sense?
Like, yeah, I gotcha. Yeah,
Chipotle's one for us. Like, we go out, get Chipotle, we get Chili's, Olive Garden, Jimmy John's, list goes on. It's just like, so like when I'm home, I'm not gonna eat that stuff because I eat that stuff 6 months out of the year. Whenever we're on the road. So I don't hate Chipotle, but it's just like I'm not gonna eat there right now. You know what I mean?
Okay. We'll accept that rebuttal.
That fair? Is that fair?
rebuttal? The rebuttal is very fair.
You saved it. You saved it.
You saved yourself there from a world of Chipotle fans. We're gonna have
but I do think now this might be a hotter take. I think Poncheros is better. I don't know if you guys know what Poncheros is.
No clue what that is.
We have a Poncheros here in PA. I've just never
seen it.
It is a chain, but it's not as big as Chipotle. They're better than Chipotle. That, I don't know if that's a hotter take.
That might be a hotter take. Man,
I've never had it, so I don't know.
He's firing on all cylinders right now.
Well, hey, we have a guy on our team, Steve Kolchev, heavyweight. He's got an NIL deal with Poncheros, so I got to shout out the home team.
Well, where's your NIL deal with Poncheros then?
He likes Poncheros a little more than me. He'll eat 3 burritos
You got to get a Little Caesars deal.
Yeah, I don't eat Little Caesars. I'm more, if I'd get any deal for eating out, I would, here in Columbia, that's a chain. it would be Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
You eat that a lot. I think you've mentioned that last time you were on that you.
I eat that religiously. Like there was a point where I ate it religiously. Now I have it about like once a week, once every 2 weeks.
I want to say no joke. When about 3 years ago when you were on the podcast, I think that's when you were a big tropical smoothie guy.
Yeah, they've kind of. I mean, they raised their prices. Everyone has, but it's kind of pissed me off because now I got to pay $20 just to get full. Yeah.
What are you getting at this place?
I get a lot, and so that kind of pissed me off, and so now I just go like every couple weeks, and now like I just kind of cook at home or get my meals from the grocery store. So,
what about sweets? You a big sweets guy?
You know what? I don't like candy, but like dessert,
like ice cream.
Ice cream, we have a really good ice cream place here called Sparky's. Me and my brother, we eat that pretty religiously as well. we get Sparky's probably more than we should. And then red velvet, anything red velvet related, cookies, a cake. I'm gonna eat it all. My girlfriend, she'd make these red velvet cookies, and she made about like 20 of them, and they were gone in about 5 minutes. It was just throwing them in one after the other,
putting them down.
Putting them down, man.
Yeah, I can't help myself around red velvet.
Isn't it just red chocolate? Isn't it literally just chocolate?
Yeah, see, now that's what.
Is that also a hot take for me? I don't know if that's a hot take. I always thought it was just food dyed chocolate.
It is it's food dyed chocolate, and she reminds me that every time I eat it, and I'm like, please don't ruin this for me. Just don't ruin it for me.
So like if I made you chocolate cookies, you wouldn't think they were as good, would you?
No, I wouldn't. See, it's all mental. I think red velvet is superior, and it's just chocolate.
But red velvet also has that like frosting, that like
the
cheesecake frosting.
Yeah,
cream cheese.
That white frosting. That is just, man, it's top tier. I love red velvet.
What's the go-to ice cream flavor?
We'll see this place here in Columbia, Sparky's. That's the thing. Like their whole thing is like wacky flavors. So like my go-to when I go there is cinnamon and cookies and cream. Cookies and cream is normal, but cinnamon, cookies and cream. And then when they do like specialty, they have this s'mores flavor. Like this peanut butter banana mix. And then they have a bunch of other stuff that's like coffee mix or just wild flavors. That's
Zach's gonna rattle off the whole menu here.
Honestly, Rocky probably could. He went there yesterday, but they had this specialty flavor yesterday that won like this March Madness bracket. It was like shortbread, banana shortbread or whatever. It's just they got weird, crazy flavors, but some of them are just damn good.
Shout out to Sparky's. I think we might need an Elam Brothers flavor or maybe a little NIL, maybe a little free ice cream deal,
We do. One of someone we know actually works at Sparky's, so we go there all the time, and yeah, NIL deal for sure for Rocky. Rocky loves Sparky's, and I'm just there to
get Rocky some ice cream, man.
He loves it. Rocky's big into sweets. He's a big sweets guy. I'll tell you what, like him and my dad, like just for a snack, they'll just get some chocolate chips and eat chocolate chips handful. I can't do that, but that's just that's one of their snacks.
Getting me hungry over here.
Yeah.
It's a little different. I don't know a lot of people who just chocolate chips just raw.
Yeah, just from the bag.
I've been guilty of that.
Yeah, I've never been able to get on board with it, but that's their thing.
It's a little different, man. And obviously you've wrestled a ton of people. Who would you say in your career is the one guy that you've just hated competing against? Who's that one guy that's giving you the toughest go?
I mean, consistent. Okay, well, first, I mean, my biggest ass whooping was from Gable.
Well, he's not here anymore. We don't talk about Gable Stevenson anymore. I
Yeah,
mean, someone who's still relevant, competing. Obviously, Gable's not irrelevant. That's
yeah.
gonna get clipped now. Gable is very relevant in the scene, but somebody who's still competing in college. Who's that guy that just you have a rough go with?
Early in my career, I'd say I don't hate to compete against anybody. I love to compete against everybody. I'd say the guy who has the heaviest hands. Maybe I was just because I was a young, small heavyweight, but he's always beat me, folk style and freestyle, and we've had some close matches, but it was Jordan Wood. He's probably has the heaviest hands someone I've wrestled. But right now, I mean, I want to wrestle everybody, and I
Next
just
year. Next year is Elam year, man. Both of the brothers, man. 97's opening up for a new champ. Rocky's getting ready, I'm sure, now thinking about it.
Yeah, Kansas City. It's gonna be in Kansas City next year. That's our hometown. So
Yeah, that I think that might you might make a little bit of history there.
yeah, that's the
Shock
goal.
the world in your home arena.
Yeah, that's the goal. It's in my mind every day. I honestly, like when I wake up in the morning, I think about it all the time, and going into training and everything like that. And but yeah, you work towards that storybook ending, but wrestling's a tough sport. Um, you also got to think of the bad that could happen. I'm sure Spencer Lee went into the NCAA tournament thinking he'd be coming out a 4-time NCAA champ. But I think you kind of need that healthy balance to prepare yourself for whatever can happen, because it's college wrestling and anything can happen at any given moment, and anybody can beat anybody, especially at that tournament. So I just I train for the outcome that I want for mainly my brother, my family, my team. But you got to keep that healthy balance of what if you go 0-2, or something could happen, what if you get hurt or this whatever, it's just you got to be able to make sure you're mentally prepared for the best and the worst outcome.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of things people don't realize is like, you want to think that you guys are just mentally preparing to go in there and win.
Yeah.
But as obviously you've gone through, is your mental matters most in those blood round matches. That's where mental becomes a huge thing. So I mean, kind of talk a little bit. What did you do different? What was different this year that you really set yourself up to to get on the podium?
I'm gonna be like completely honest with you. Like I just would keep reminding myself is like I'm done falling short. Like I'm done falling short. There's just a lot of aspects of my life where I was just like, God, I'm tired of falling short in everything, and it was just like getting brutally awful where like my mind was just saying things where it's just like I couldn't freaking control it, and I was just like I'm done falling short, and I just make sure I did enough work to where that wouldn't happen this year, and hopefully not happen next year. But yeah, that's just kind of where I went, was just where I wanted to make sure I didn't leave anything on the table. And I didn't think I did in years past, but like in a sense you get what you earn, and I couldn't keep doing the same thing if I wasn't getting the results I wanted. So I always just each year I've always done a little bit more and more and more and more, and whether if it is mental wise or training wise, that's just kind of the way I went into it was this year. And I kind of hit like a point within like at the end of November and throughout December and January where I was just like, I'm tired of falling short, and I'm like, I won't let this happen, and I won't let it happen because there's just too many people that count on me. Like I was tired of falling short for my team, not all Americaning, not placing. I was tired of falling short for, my brother, because you know, our whole careers we've been together. And, you know, they wouldn't tell you this, but I felt like I was falling short for my family, you know, because they want to celebrate both of us, you know, but they'd always say they're proud of me no matter what. So I know they feel that way, but it's just how I was feeling. And
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure, you know, being in that moment, you know, you want your family to be happy for Rocky. And
yeah.
you know, like it's like everybody's celebrating Rocky, and it's just like I'm sure in your mind, it's like, well, it'd be better if it was both of us.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah,
Like I'm sure this year's celebration was a lot better.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was just like, you know, it is a celebration. You know, you finally made it on the podium, but you know, in a sense, like I also look at it like thinking of it when I was reflecting on the tournament, like, man, there's 5 guys that finished ahead of you, you know, and also like I All American and I wrestled really good my second day and my first day, but my third day I wrestled like complete shit. Like I got rode out against Cassiope. I didn't get a takedown. He took me down early. And then Davidson, when I was wrestling him, I was winning the whole match until the last minute and a half. And like I just kind of like felt so sorry for myself. In a sense of I don't know why, but I was just like, you know, I was not happy with the way I performed on day 3. And you know, that's kind of been more in my mind, like heading into this next season, heading into summer and heading into next season. You know, my final year is like I want to wrestle good on all 3 days. I don't want to wrestle good on just 2 out of the 3 days.
Yeah.
So you know, that's kind of been more in my mind than, you know, actually All American, which, you know, I'm happy of, but like I'm just a little pissed off at the way I finished that tournament.
Yeah. I mean,
But
and
you
like
know,
I
it
said,
was great. It was finally damn good. I got on the podium.
yeah, it was nice to see you up there. Let me tell you, it was nice. It was nice to, you know, look at the podium picture and be like, you know, like, hey, Zach's up there. You know, it's good
Thank
for
you.
good to see Zach up there, man. But
Yeah, thank
you
you. I
know,
appreciate
we
that.
asked this question to everybody. We asked you it about 3 years ago, and I'm sure the answers might change. You could take 3 of your Mizzou wrestling teammates with you into the zombie apocalypse. Who would they be and why?
Well, I'm taking my brother, of course.
Guaranteed, yeah. Lock him in.
Of course.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take Rock with me. Just my teammates, or can I go into coaches too?
No, you could go into coaches. We let Nino go into his coaches, so we'll let you go in there as well.
Okay, I go with Rock, and then either Todd or Maple. I'll let them kind of figure out who's the better hunter there, who's got a better shot, and then I'll stick with the teammate on this one. I'll go. I guess I'd take. No, I'm gonna go. Jay Conway. Name you guys don't know yet. He's a freshman on our team. I'll take Jay. He's a smart cat. He's quiet, but he's smart.
Taking a freshman, that's a little different. I don't think we've seen. You know, I was hoping that you weren't going to go like all big boys because like then what are you going to eat? You're eventually going to run out of food if it was like you, Rocky, Dom, and another heavyweight.
No. Yeah, I wanted to say Dom, but I was like, yeah, I can't have another big guy there. Rocky's already the.
Yeah, I was going to say Rocky being a 97 pounder is already like, well.
Yeah. Rocky's gonna be freaking big one day, so I gotta. That's already the second big guy.
You think he'll ever make the move up, or you think he'll stay at 97?
I don't know. It's probably a question for him.
We'll have to ask him. We'll ask him when we get him back on.
I mean, his last year will be in 2 years, you know. So I don't know. He walks around, I think, about 213. So, and the thing about him is he doesn't have a lot of fat on him.
No, I was gonna say he's pretty ripped up. Like he's pretty slimmed out at 215.
Yeah, he's pretty cut. So he doesn't really have a lot to lose. But he manages his diet better than anybody I've seen in the country or ever met. So he does it the right way.
Yeah, man. And then last question, it's kind of something new we've been adding in. say something to the kids out there, man. Say something to the kids that look up to you, the kids that, might be at those home dual meets. Say something to them, the guys that want to be future Mizzou Tigers.
Yeah. Well, I was in their shoes once. Like I said, I remember going to duels, Mizzou duels when I was a kid. I can remember all the way from when I was 8 years old when they used to do like little matches before the duels with all the youth kids. They'd just do random round robins, and you wrestle like 2 matches in a day and then watch the duel. But I would just keep, idolizing, the guys you look up to and hope to, be in their shoes one day and kind of raise the bar from whatever they've done. And, just keep working hard. I think that was the biggest thing that kind of Rocky and I will hang our hat on, is just, we just work hard and, everything we do. So never stray away from that and kind of live the right lifestyle off the mat as well.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
And awesome. And like you said, it really did come for full circle for you being able to watch Dom, do what he did. And now Dom's coaching you and you're wrestling for Mizzou. So awesome. Yep. Yeah, man. It's always good to talk to you again. Congratulations on becoming All-American this year. And, it's been another episode of the Heavyweight Nation podcast. We'll see you guys later.